Hey, I wanted to make a quick video on how to attach the rack mount kit to the Angry Audio C4. So I have the rack mount kit arrived, comes in a tube like this. I unboxed it and those pieces are sitting over here on the table. We'll have a look at those in a second. In my kitchen, not set up for this today. Let's start with the Angry Audio C4. When you get it, it has little footies on the bottom, little rubber feet, so it can sit on a table. You want to remove all those. So get all those out of there. It's just a screwdriver. Then let me repoint the camera a little down here at the table so it's going to look a little better for you viewers. Then we want to see there's going to be a bag of screws here, and there's two kinds of screws in there, and an Allen wrench, which in your family you might call a hex key. So this is a tool you're going to need. And there's two kinds of screws. There's these big screws, right? And then there's these little screws. So the big screws are called rack screws. We're not actually going to use those at first. At first, we're just going to use these little tiny screws, which you'll notice have a hex key socket. What do we call that part of a screw? And what's going to happen is you're going to remove you'll notice those same screws are in the front of the C4, and you're going to remove those 4 screws in the front of the C4. So let's do this real quick. Okay, there's one. I'm gonna pull out the next one real quick. You might decide to skip ahead on this video until I get all these screws out. There we go, cool. So now all 4 are out. So the front of the unit is a little flatter. Now I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to unwrap this. That was easy. And you will notice that it fits right there. And there are screw holes on this plate that line up just perfect with the screws I just removed. And those little tiny screws we were talking about, they go right in there. And in fact, the screws I removed also, they're the same size. So strictly speaking, the 4 that come in the rack mount kit are just extras. In my case, that's nice because I think I dropped one on the ground. Just use this hex tool to screw that in. I'll go ahead and do all 4, but for the purposes of the video, you get the point. And now this is rack mountable. Now you have rack ears you can put on any standard audio rack. So in my case, I'm going to mount it into this guy, and you'll see that it will slide in just like that, mount to the rack, and these holes here are where we'll use the normal rack screws. Holes over there, holes right there. All right, hope that's helpful.